Hey, this is the one-man gold mine, the one-man enterprise of professional wrestling and all entertainment, Flynn Hendricks. And you better believe when I'm looking for a good podcast to listen to, I go to my own. I go to the I Know You Hear Me podcast hosted by me, Flynn Hendricks. That is such a fresh perspective for how you should look at life, too. I love that. And then when I'm feeling spooky, I go to my other podcast, Tales from the Haunt, where I want my head shoved inside a 15-pound silicone mask. More. I want to have a bucket of sweat coming off me at the end of the night than just Jeff.
Dogs don't lay eggs, Flynn.
I hate you so much.
Talk to other scare actors about what it takes to get into the world of scare acting. So if you're curious about how people became professional wrestlers, actors, prioritized their mental health, became entrepreneurs, avoided burnout, or got into scare acting, you need to go check out I Know You Hear Me and Tales from the Haunt, available on all podcasting platforms. And I know you hear me.
And welcome to the PWZ podcast. This is Rick Del Santo, and joining me today, Showtime Marcel Williams. What's going on, Marcel?
What's going on? Happy New Year. We are here on a brand new year, 2023. What did you think about a few years ago, maybe 20 years ago, what 2023 would be like?
Well, when I was a kid, what year was the Jetsons in the year 2000 or something like that? And you thought it was going to be flying cars and robots serving your food and stuff, and
skyscrapers in the middle of the air. And
you think that? And now look at this. We're still the same old crabs that we were before. Yeah, well, we have self-driving cars and electric cars, so I guess it's something.
Yeah, we do. I know we've been off for a while. But I also want to give my prayers and my thoughts to Buffalo.
Yes,
that snowstorm they had. It was a real deadly snowstorm, and I give my thoughts and prayers to the people that were stranded out there and lost family and everything. So it's been a long time since we've been on here, so I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to Buffalo.
Yeah, we've had quite some eventful couple months, really. I mean, not a lot of newsworthy items such as today, but we'll be getting into the news in just a second. But a lot of crazy stuff, and of course, the end of the year is somewhat slow. But we took some time off to just kind of rest up, and we're fully rested. We're fully back. Well, at least I hope so.
Hope so.
Yeah, at this age, you never can tell, really.
True.
So with the big breaking news now, I guess we can jump right in. Vince McMahon is trying to force his way back in to WWE, trying to fight with the board of directors, basically hold the WWE hostage. He is the majority shareholder. He wants to get in, and rumor is because he wants to get in and try to sell the company.
Well, the thing is, if he's not brought back, he's basically saying that he will not approve any media rights deals or sales. So, like you say, holding it hostage, and that's a big deal, man. I mean, they rely on these media right deals, and they rely on the sale that hopefully that we've been talking about for almost a few years now, that they trying to get, whether it's through Amazon, whether it's through Disney, whether it's through any big companies that want to buy them. The only way this sale is going to happen is through the man himself, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. And I saw online somebody was questioning, what do you think the morale is going to be like now if he forces his way back in? What do you think it's like now that everybody is finding this news out?
The morale backstage may be a little confusing. It may be down, and some may be up. You just never know who and what felt with this news. Vince McMahon is a controversial character right now, and Everybody want to know what's going on with this dude, what he's doing since his departure, his resign of being the chairman of this company, and I guess the plan has been all along of him trying to make this return back. So now we see the Wall Street Journal is releasing more stuff that's going on with him, and I mean this is a big deal, man. I mean a few months ago we thought this was the biggest news of the last century with Vince McMahon resigning, but we got big news on top of that of him trying to come back and get that throne back.
So, do you think? I guess that when a couple months ago he had stated that he guess he got false information or he was advised wrongly, then that's why he felt like he shouldn't have actually left. So basically, he was going to stay out till it cooled down. Do you think that this is him? It's cooled down and that he's coming back? I mean, there was a whole documentary that aired about him just a month ago on Vice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 9 Lives of Vince McMahon, and a lot of things were left out that should have been in that documentary, but obviously a lot of things can't be exposed right now because I think by the time the documentary was even made, this Wall Street Journal stuff was happening, so right. It's like they probably couldn't even add anything to it. But right now, we're in a state of limbo because obviously the stock prices are up for WWE. They've been up since he resigned. There's been a lot of more ticket sales going on. WrestleMania having the biggest ticket sales to date in Los Angeles this year, and then the Rumble is the Rumble is the biggest gate ever in Rumble history at the Alamo Dome. So all this stuff that happened with this man resigning was a big deal for WWE, but right now we shall see. I mean, he could do it. I mean, he got the majority of the shares, so he could do it. It's just up to the board of directors, which he decided to use George Barrios, and I think it was George Barrios and Michelle Wilson.
Yep, Miss Wilson and Mr. Barrios are highly qualified directors whose professional experience positions them to help the company achieve the best possible outcomes in both initiatives. As former WWE co-presidents and board members, they are intimately familiar with industry dynamics and the organization's operations and have helped guide the company through past successful media rights negotiations. So
I got a question too. Since you said all that, didn't George Barrios and Michelle Wilson get released?
That was in the last couple of years, I believe. Yeah, I believe in the last couple of years.
So that's kind of weird because they was released for Nick Khan, right? Because Nick Khan,
when he started coming in and cleaning house, basically.
Yeah, so this is kind of weird that he's using the 2 people that he actually let go to actually use them to bring him back. That's the most corporate thing I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's the most corporate thing. No. But once you're out of WWE, are you ever truly out of WWE? That's the other question.
Yeah, obviously they had shares with the company still part of the board of directors. They just lost the position that they was in, but it's kind of weird that you have 2 people that would take up for somebody that released them from their position. It's crazy.
And I believe Wilson was making a ton of money, I believe, at that time period. So I think that they made the big deal of mentioning that in an article after they got released.
And wasn't Stephanie McMahon that took her position after that?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Any other opinions on this?
This is one of those situations the only time will tell. Just like the I don't want to keep harping on the same stuff, but just like the Brawl Out, we will see whether CM Punk will return to AEW or wrestling in general. You just gonna hear rumors until you actually see it. So I'll believe it when I see it.
My other question is, and we can talk about Punk in a minute because there are a lot of talk lately. So, My other question regarding this is he just going to come in and try to help sell the company? So he can continue his retirement? Is he going to continue to? Is Hunter going to continue to have head of creative? And what capacity is Vince really going to have outside of trying to initiate the sale?
I mean, the way this situation is look like he's saying that the company will not sell or get media rights unless he's back as chairman. Right. So, I mean, he could have stayed in the position that he was at and still had a decision to sell the company or have media rights. That's the messed up thing about it here is so he's trying to be the chairman again. So, if he's trying to be the chairman again, and he's trying to sit in that chair again in Gorilla, it's just going to be a confusing situation because Triple H is on his he's on his role right now of doing what he's been doing with creative and probably have certain roads, no pun intended, going forward in the future of 2023 and beyond. But sooner or later, I mean, only time will tell. We guys sit down and see whether Stephanie McMahon gonna pop up on television with a big announcement or something pops up. Something.
I said to hear that he had sent a letter in late December detailing his desire to return to the company to spearhead a sales process. WWE's board responded to McMahon that they are willing to work with him on a review process for a sale, but unanimously agreed McMahon returning to the company was not in the best interest for the shareholders.
I mean, let's remember the controversy that was going on here between rape scandals, between sexual harassment scandals, with him going on with tanning salons and female referees and some other stuff that I will not mention here that I've heard from other people. Right. But it's just to the point now. This guy is a black eye for the WWE right now. We in different light. We in the Me Too cancel culture movement right now. Yeah. And you could at me at Showtime Marcel, which is right here, because I'm telling the truth. It's the cancel culture Me Too movement, and it is what it is. Vince McMahon wants a figurehead. I want to say squeaky clean, but he had his controversial moments, but he didn't have the moments that he's been having now. And now he's currently the black eye of the WWE right now.
Yeah. Man, it's going to be interesting to see this situation unfold. I'm sure tomorrow we might have some more news. And if we do, I'll probably jump back on. I don't know if you're interested, if you're available. But if there is something else that comes out in the coming days, I'm definitely going to jump on and talk about it. So, yeah.
Well, God willing, I'll make it on here. We talk behind the scenes. It's been an eventful month for me, even though the year just started. And but I'm here. But God willing, I'll be on next episodes as well.
I'm sure you will be.
I will hope so. You'll make it. I'll make it. I always say it every day. I'll make it.
Just got to get through this winter. We'll be okay. And we haven't even had a bad winter yet. We haven't had.
That's the thing too. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you gotta get through the winter, but then you got some idiots out here that want to be speed racers.
Trust me, dude. I know. Let me tell you. I know you were speaking about your accident, but that was it last week or the week before? I was coming up Route 68 here for anybody that lived in Connecticut. And you know where that is. I'm trying to go around this guy, and every time that I get home late at night sometimes, I'm trying to go around this guy. Every time I try to go around this guy, the guy speeds up. Mm-hmm. Speeds up. It won't let me around him, and then all of a sudden he just decides to drive incredibly slow while I'm in back of him. So then I try to go around him, and then he just starts speeding up. And all I'm trying to do literally is to get back home from work. I work late sometimes, and that's it. And then finally, I just the guy kept doing it the whole road. I was like, this guy's. Yes, I'm gonna swear a fucking dick. All right. Yeah. I eventually just freaking turned the car down a different road and said, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, it's to that now. We gotta do a PSA right here. a public service announcement. Please be safe out there on the roads. And there's only a few that's probably watching right now that know that I was in an accident, but I was in another one. And so that's 2 accidents within the last 4 weeks. And I just want to let everybody know that just to be safe out there, just be safe out there. There's crazy drivers out there. There's new and drunk drivers and whatever drivers possible. Just be safe out there because it's dangerous out there. Weather, dry, road, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And don't forget, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on the highways as of late here in Connecticut as well. I'm sure you've read that there was a couple accidents, a couple shootings as well on the highways.
Yeah.
And one was on Route 15, literally a couple hours after I drove past it, and then it was running right on 95 in Milford, and both sides of the highway were shut down.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on, and then there's also a lot of people going the wrong way, doing head-to-head crashes. Yeah. Earlier, I read an article about a Connecticut senator that died, I think, last night. He just got inaugurated for a 3rd term, and he was heading home and got into a head-on crash and passed away. So it's dangerous out here. Just keep your eyes open. Remember, when you're driving, you got to drive for everybody. Not only yourself, but everybody. So just be safe out there.
And we've turned into a public service announcement podcast on top of it.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
All right.
Cancel culture, Me Too, and drunk driving and road rage all in 5 minutes.
There you go. So where do you want to go first? Wrestle Kingdom or AEW?
We could talk about Wrestle Kingdom. That was first.
All right. Yeah, this past, I believe it. Oh, geez, I'm gonna get my days mixed up. The 4th, so it was yesterday, I guess, overnight. Considering we're in the U.S. I thought Wrestle Kingdom. I guess they drew roughly over 25,000 fans there in the Tokyo Dome. So it was very nice. Very nice event. I thought it was a really, really good event. The show was damn near 7 hours. However, I don't remember, what was it, last year? Not last year, maybe the year before, you and I were complaining that WrestleMania was too long these days, but now they break it up into 2 nights. So,
well, so yeah. Now it's to the point now. Wrestle Kingdom, every year here at the beginning of January 4th, as we come here annually for this event. It's a very long event. It was 2 nights. Now it's back to 1 night, 7 hours. Mm-hmm. And we already know it's always a match of the year candidate on January 4th every time. So as we get through this event, there was big news that came out this event. I have watched some of the event. I watched highlights of certain parts of the event. I will watch the whole event in its entirety because it seemed like it's a 1 day job for me.
Yeah.
7 hours. So I may need a lunch break in between. But I did watch Okada match, Will Ospreay match with Kenny Omega. I did see the Mercedes Moné debut and a few other things as we go through this event. I did see most of the show.
All right, let's I'm gonna start there with the I just have the title matches here. There were 6 title changes. Before we get into that, there's a couple event incidents in the show or moments in the show that I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It was the match where Tatsumi Fujinami appeared in the 6-man tag team match in tribute to Antonio Inoki, which, if you grew up in the 1980s, 70s even, you know who Fujinami is. He former WWF junior heavyweight champion when they had that belt back in the day. And I think that he ended up holding on to the belt and bringing it to Japan when they dissolved the title in the early 80s. So it was really nice to see him. Of course, he just wrestled. He was very slouched over throughout the whole time. And of course, he had that legendary match with Ric Flair where there was the controversy over the NWA World title in 1990. Mm-hmm. And then they wrestled, they headlined Super Brawl. So yeah, the guy's a legend, so it was really great to see him. And then of course it was I had watched the Pro Wrestling Noah show the night before, was it the night before or 2 nights before, with Muta against Nakamura, which I thought it was a very good show. I thought that match, for Muta being 60 years old, in the shape that he's in, I thought it was a pretty damn good match for what Muta could do at this time. I think let's be honest, I think Nakamura carried him much through that match, and I thought it was probably an honor for Nakamura to wrestle somebody like him.
Absolutely.
But it was very great to see Muta coming out as is under his the gimmick that he had at that time, the Kaiji Muto, come out in that gear. Just 2 nights later to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome one last time for New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's pretty, it meant a lot.
Yeah, it did, and he will be back there at the Tokyo Dome again for the Pro Wrestling Noah event later on this year. So, like Rick said, the last Tokyo Dome appearance under the New Japan brand, and this was special. This was a special deal, and especially with his former student. Always going to be a student, Sonata.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see that. I think that was that final match for Noah is at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I don't.
I think it's the beginning of next month. I got to do my research, but I think it's the beginning of next month.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna bring coverage of that here because I'm really interested in seeing that match. It's a great Muta. I mean, the guy's a legend. I'd love to sit there and watch that.
The dude changed the game in the 80s.
Oh, 100%. It's funny that you were saying that. I went back through some of our older episodes. Now, if you follow us on TikTok, PWZ Pod, I've been uploading a lot of clips of our older episodes, interviews, clips of really good conversation. So there was a conversation where when we talked about Muta making his appearance in AEW. So that clip is up there. It was a fun conversation because at the time we were trying to remember where we discovered him in that in the conversation, going back in history. These brains were getting old. We don't remember a lot sometimes. But I had forgotten now in that conversation, listening to it, I had actually somehow this popped into my head. I remember this, that I didn't bring it up in that conversation. That he did wrestle for World Class before going to WCW as well. In the 80s. So I totally forgot that, and Florida. So that was I guess I'm coming back months later to say that, but whatever.
Now there's a lot of hidden classics with Great Muta. He has wrestled the who's who of professional wrestling. He has wrestled Ric Flair, he has wrestled Sting, he has wrestled William Regal, he has wrestled Paul Orndorff, he has wrestled Steve Austin. He has wrestled the who's who of professional wrestling, and he's a legend in this business. And hopefully, he's already a Hall of Famer in everybody's hearts, but sooner or later, hopefully, in all of professional wrestling.
Let's not forget he had a classic with Hulk Hogan in New Japan in the 1990s as well, and that's where a lot of people discovered Hogan could actually wrestle. Bet you didn't know that. So,
I did know that. I didn't know he was Hogan. Yeah, I knew that.
No, everybody thinks
Hogan had to work that night.
Yeah, he had to work because he was going up against the guy that is going to make him work. But he had in his WWE days, or at the time period, what was he doing? He was doing a show. He didn't have to work the way he did with Muta. Japan's a completely different crowd. If you're going to go over there doing that showboat and stuff, they're going to laugh you out of the building.
I mean, as we going throughout this event, as we approach Mercedes Moné, I'm really going to put it out there about how much different Japan wrestling is towards USA wrestling.
Well, I'm going to start with that actually. So it's with the women's championship, IWGP Women's Championship. Kairi Sane defeated Tam Nakano to retain the title. Mercedes Moné is how she wants it pronounced, I've heard. So she came out and she tried to do that maneuver and just botched it.
Well, she didn't botch it. Kairi actually botched it. If you look at it, what Kairi really was supposed to do, instead of landing on her knees, she's supposed to land on her feet and then take it. But things happen. Wrestling ain't perfect. And it's just unfortunate because it was her debut. But I kind of feel the promo didn't click as well with everybody that was watching New Japan in the audience as well, because it felt like a WWE promo to me. It felt like I don't want to say it was like produced, but I kind of feel like she grew and was hoping that it might register, and it didn't register. But as I go along and say, Japan wrestling is a very different animal, and we have said, and there's many fans out there on social media that will say Sasha is one of the best in the world. Well, we're about to see whether she's the best in the world. Now, I like Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Monet. I do like her. She's a very good performer, but this is a whole different animal.
She's gonna be put to the test now to see how, like, she's good. She's very good at what she does, and puts on really great matches within the WWE sports entertainment system. And she's a Northeast girl as well, so
yes, she is
from our area. So she's wrestled the New England area, and so it's going to be interesting to see her go and work a match in Japan. So apparently she's got a 6-match deal or something like that.
I haven't heard that, but she does. Yeah. That's a very big deal, and she's getting paid. I heard she's getting paid more than Jericho was getting paid.
Wow. So the other speculation is that she may go back to WWE, that WWE does want her back, and that she's just, they're just saying, hey, get this out of your system, and then hopefully they're going to try to sit and have a conversation with her. We'll see how true that is. Coming up now, of course, they're also saying that she's not going to AEW as well. I know there's a lot of rumors and speculation on that as well.
Yeah, obviously, as we go on later on about the Dynamite review, the bubbles burst, but was it? Because you just never know. Yeah. Like she said, she said in the press conference after her debut that she's about to travel the world, and the world is big. So, I mean, she got a lot of talent. So, I mean, if she haven't came back to WWE yet now, look out. She's going to hopefully show us how the best in the world she is. Hopefully. Yeah. I don't want her to embarrass herself. She shouldn't have worn no heels, though, for this debut. She should have just wore some flats if she going to do that move. But,
I mean, what do you think of her new outfit, her new getup?
It was dope, but like
her hair,
yeah, it was dope. Her hair was dope. It was different. It's just the fact is like, and Charlotte Flair, I give it to her too. Like these women know how to like work in their heels, and God bless them. But the move that she was trying to do, it was not going to work in no heels. Even though Kyrie messed it up, it still wasn't going to work in no heels. And I have seen Charlotte, as we seen her return last Friday. Like I've seen her working some heels and done some stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know how the hell she's still on her feet. So God bless the women that are good on their heels.
Yeah. So from there, we had the IWGP Tag Team Championship. Was it Hiroku Goto and Yoshihashi? They defeated FTR, Dex Howard and Cash Wheeler, to win the titles. It's FTR just losing title after title after title.
We knew that was coming. We knew soon it was going to come. I mean, they held the titles long enough. They lost the AAA tag titles a few weeks ago, and they just lost this one. And they lost to the Gun Club a few weeks ago before they even before they started losing all these titles. They lost the ROH titles before all this. It's just like they on a losing streak right now, and hopefully they get back on it. I know they're about to be free agents soon. They want to go in limbo for a little bit and work the indies, and we see Dax Harwood doing a podcast. But FTR took the loss at the Tokyo Dome. Debut at the Tokyo Dome as well.
Yeah. Speaking of them working the Indies. I'm going to bring up another topic a little bit later. Well, let me just bring it up now. So, the IWTV just crowned their first independent tag team championship over this past weekend, and by defeating people we know very well, the Miracle Generation, Flash and Kylon, in the finals with injured Flash, so he couldn't get in the match, and Kylon wrestled the handicap match, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In the post-match promo, I had clipped it and played it in my review of the show that Violence is Forever has laid out a challenge, basically, to FTR. So if they do, they're probably obviously, there's a reason why they're holding those independent tag team championships. They are one of the best tag teams on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
Will this match materialize and come about if FTR is about to be free agents and start working shows around the indies? So that's a question that I have, and that's a match I'd really like to see.
All I have to say is, if the green is good, they'll be there.
And the tournament final. It's true. The tournament
I hate to bust every bubble, but that's the truth. Though, if the money's good, you can love wrestling as much as you want. You can say it. You can say you bleed. You love this business, but when it comes down to brass tacks, it's about the green paper.
Well, it's also speculation as to where they're going to ultimately end up FTR. So rumor is they want to go back to the E. So we'll see if that actually happens, because I guess they did not like their time there under Vince. Now with rumors of him returning, one could only imagine what they're thinking now.
Exactly. Get those colorful suits ready.
Yeah. Maybe they would make fun of it and start doing the shaving the back segments again. And
the icy hot
right. In the tournament final to crown the inaugural New Japan World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ren Narita to win the title in a very good match. After the match, TMDK came out and requested Sabre join them as their leader, and he accepted. He put their shirt on and he walked out with them. The never open weight championship match, Tama Tonga defeated Carl Anderson. Of course, Carl Anderson now currently back with the WWE. He had no-showed an event the night that they returned. They showed up in him and Gallows returned the night that he was supposed to be defending the title. So he's gone back here to defend it.
Yeah, he was coming back to seal the deal. He was supposed to wrestle I forgot his name. What's his name? The tall guy.
What the hell is his
somebody
name?
about to rip me apart. He's supposed to have a scheduled appearance for him, and what happened was Crown Jewels happened the same night. So,
what the hell, the guys? Jesus Christ! I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he was going to have that happen, and obviously, it didn't. But he did his commitment later on and had the match later on down the line, I think like a month or two, and defended the title. But this was the agreement right here when it came to the Tokyo Dome to face Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga grabbed the never openweight championship in a very stiff match and became the new never openweight champion.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to find it right here. And I'm trying to... Lance Archer. Lance Archer is what you're referring to, no?
It was the other tall guy. That's Tama Tonga. I think it's his brother or cousin.
Tonga Loa?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He was supposed to defend the title against him, and he didn't that night. But he did later on, and he defeated him. And but this was Tama Tonga night.
Let's see. Where's my notes? Oh, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Kenny won the United States Championship, the IWGP United States Championship. I thought that this match was excellent. It was very, very, very good. From what I understand, they're supposed to be setting it up for another at some point. So they didn't get in the way they actually should or could, because they're trying to save it so that they do one big finale.
I agree with that one, but this match alone, and the year just started only 5 days ago.
Yes.
This is a match of a year candidate right here. Kenny Omega hasn't lost a step. And Will Ospreay, we already know what he could do. We've seen what he could do domestically against Orange Cassidy at Forbidden Door. And even before that, we knew what he could do before that. But
right,
these two went at it out there for over 30 minutes and put on an instant classic. And if they going to sit there and try to top this one, I really believe them, because Kenny Omega did it with Okada. That first match we thought was what it was, and then it was an hour showcase after that became the match, probably one of the greatest matches of all time in the modern era. So this match right here was ultimate match of the year for 2023. For right now.
We got to keep our notes now. I'm telling you, Marcel, because we weren't able to come back for.
We wasn't able to come back, but we're gonna have notes for this one, because this one made the list.
I'm just gonna tell you that my let me see if I can even find that. I know my tag team match of the year was the Briscoes and FTR. That's what I can do off memory. I said that was absolutely the best match, tag team match I've seen. I don't remember what I considered my match of the year. I'd have to go back and find my notes, but I just want to throw that out there.
Nah, I agree with the tag team. The tag team match of the year was actually that. It was either that or FTR versus the what do you call it? The Ospreay guys.
Oh, Aussie Open, yeah.
Yeah, that was a classic as well. Them versus the Bucks, yeah, that was a good classic.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good tag team matches.
There's a lot of good that happened in 2022. So 2023, I can only imagine.
Sleeper year.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, there was the IWGP Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. Okada, now two-time champion, defeated Jay White. The only thing I have to say, this is a very good match, by the way. The only thing I have to say about this is I'm sorry that...
Is Okada a two-time champion?
Yes. This is his second time winning the title. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
That can't be.
I mean, I could look it up. I'm going to look it up. So, as I was saying...
I'm sorry. I could, because I could have sworn I seen him win at the Garden.
I believe... Hang on. The only thing that I felt bad that they went on after Kenny and Ospreay.
Oh, listen, it was WrestleMania 18 all over again. WrestleMania 18 and WrestleMania 25 all over again.
It was a fantastic match, but it was not nearly as good as the second main event. That's all I got to say.
Nah, it wasn't, and it's always terrible for that to happen, but somebody has to do it.
Okay, so what I'm about to read to you. So there's a difference. Okay, apparently. The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is 2 times. He's held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 5 times. I didn't know what the I'm just going by what they said, and I just remember when watching the show, they put an emphasis on 2 times. They kept saying it over and over. If you really want me to study it, I could study it right now and tell you.
No, you don't have to study it, but I just don't understand what's the difference. What, because the world not in there?
That's all right. So the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was established June 12th, 1987, and retired in 2020, March 4th, 2021.
I remember the belt being retired. I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that the world title, let me go over here. See, this is making me do homework now. I'm live on the, so, and then
I'm lost because I was like, hold up, I could have sworn.
No, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship was established March 1st, and I think it has something to do with the design of some sort. So I'm going to do the homework, and then I'm going to bring it back next week. So
that's fine. Take your time. Don't give yourself a
no,
headache.
I'm definitely,
I just
I'm going to
wonder. I was like, hold up, like
yeah, they're considered two different titles, I believe. So yeah, they're considered two different titles, but which I do find interesting and weird. So, but I know that watching throughout the show, they kept saying that it was his second reign, or post when he won the match.
okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's their history, not mine.
Oh, I mean, if Vince could change the history, so could New Japan.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Make us look stupid.
So, Phil Baroni, you know about this story?
No, shoot.
All right. Former UFC fighter Phil Baroni arrested for allegedly killing his girlfriend. Yeah. If
we talk about MMA, I mean, I do know about Dana White slapping his wife.
Yeah.
And,
so it's an interesting week for MMA. Very interesting week. So let me get into this Baroni story, then we could talk some Dana White. Apparently, former UFC Pride and Strikeforce fighter and occasional pro wrestler. I guess he wrestled for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and he had another couple matches. He was arrested for allegedly killing his girlfriend in San Fernando, Mexico. I guess first reported by the Mexican news outlet, then TMZ, the incident was said to have happened January 1st in a hotel room following a fight over alleged infidelity. The woman was said to be of Mexican origin. Both were said to be under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Stated police found the woman unresponsive in bed with bruises and blows all over her head and naked body, and noticed Baroni's hands were red. He's being held in jail and waiting sentencing. And he reportedly told local police that he told her to take a shower after she told him that she had slept with another man, and then she refused, and he forced her into the shower, told the cops that she injured her head and body during that, and obviously it did not match up. He went out to go get beer and cigarettes and came back and found her dead, wrapped her in a blanket and came back and found her dead. So it's a lot of weirdness here. Kind of reminds me of another story that we learned about a pro wrestling legend from many, many moons ago, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, it's very similar. And prayers and thoughts to the family of that person, their girlfriend, and hopefully justice will be served for this tragic situation.
So I guess we can talk a little Dana White and then move forward. This motherfucker, pardon my language.
Now, going to be a lot of bleeping on this episode.
Yeah. This guy, his wife, mind you, I guess they were arguing in a bar, also in Mexico. She went to walk away. He grabbed her, she slapped him, and then he smacked her 2 times in the face. Caught on video by TMZ. He comes on TMZ, does an interview, says there's no excuse, that they admitted it to the children. They just basically their main concern is the children, so they confronted the children with this. This guy's a public figure, the face of the Ultimate Fighting Championships. What do you think is gonna? I mean, stuff like this does not lay quiet. You know what I mean? It's not good for business.
It's not, but before I say what I have to say, and I'm going to say it very professionally.
Okay.
And you can at me at Showtime Marcel. All I have to say is the color of my skin right here, if that person would have did it, it would have been all over the news outlets.
You're right.
They would have fried this guy under the red light his sponsor way. They would have did impossible to criminate this guy. Happen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
See, talk about Dana White and put the truth out there, and then all of a sudden I get frozen. You see, so
all right,
this guy slaps his wife on TMZ, and I just found out this morning. The reason I found out the morning that I did, it just popped up on the feed, and I was like, "Oh, this Mark really slapped his wife," and it's on TMZ.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like national known. Like it wasn't like, okay, well, Dana White slapped his wife. Like I had to find out through other wrestling outlets, and then I looked at the video. I was like, oh, okay, but it's disgusting. I'm not gonna say that not all couples don't get in a fight. They do, but
people are gonna argue. That's just
people
nature.
are gonna argue. It's gonna happen, but I'm just gonna put it out there. If it was a person of my color, usually when I'm on this show, I don't talk about race, diversity. I try to stay away from no controversial topics because this is a safety space for us to talk about professional wrestling.
Right.
But if Dana White was my color, he would have got crucified. It would have been all over news outlets 20 times.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything unless you really search it. But he did have a slap show on TBS that's supposed to be advertised. It's been advertised for the last 2 weeks. They have pulled everything as we talk about Dynamite in a minute. I did not see no advertisement for this show at all. So that is the right direction to do because you don't need to advertise this guy right now. It's just he slapped his wife and he slapped the woman on the camera. He got caught, and it's time for the consequences for this dude to pay just like everybody else pay when they do stuff on camera or behind the scenes.
Absolutely. So this show, the slap fest, whatever it's called, is actually pulled.
It's not. It wasn't. That's another thing too. Like I said, it wasn't announced that it was pulled. They just didn't do no advertisements because obviously he was on a commercial.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, because I know that there was question of whether it was still going to air because he apparently, I'm not, not only the commercials, but he's all over this. It was already pre-taped.
Yes, he's all over it. So we're going to see whether they're going to sit here and put this up or not. They didn't advertise it
right
Wednesday on Dynamite. So that was some of the sign that was going to go down. But I just wonder what's going to happen with UFC because you got Disney involved with UFC, you got ESPN that's involved in UFC. It's just the same topic as Vince McMahon. You got all these sponsorships, all these advertisements, and you can't have somebody as that figurehead in the black eye of that company. So we shall see.
Yep. Did you hear the news about the no compete clause?
Yes, I heard that they have put a bill in that they are about to vanish that for independent contractors.
Correct. Let me say here. This I read this on comicbook.com today, by the way, who just basically reshares articles from the Observer and PW Insider and such. So WWE's standard contracts for the wrestlers include a no compete clause where the wrestler cannot work for any other major wrestling organization for 90 days. But it appears that might be outlawed in the near future, according to a new proposal from the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC announced Thursday that a ban on non-competes has been proposed, citing it suppresses wages, hampers innovation, and blocks entrepreneurs for starting new businesses, before noting it could potentially increase wages up to $300 billion per year and expanded opportunities for 30 million U.S. citizens. The FTC voted 3-1 to publish its notice of proposal rulemaking, the first step in potentially making no-compete contracts illegal and voiding that stipulation from all current contracts. Whether or not this could affect the WWE and other pro wrestling organizations remains to be seen, as wrestlers are typically operate as independent contractors rather than employees.
You shall see. Now it's going to change the game now because you get released or you decide to quit. There's no 90 days.
Yeah. The 90-day clause I always thought was a bunch of garbage. And Vince started putting that in after it was Nash and Hall had left and showed up on TV the following week or whatnot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people were just showing up in WCW. So, which I always thought it was a bunch of garbage to begin with. It just these guys sit at home for 90 days. Can't go to New Japan. Can't work. Not that WCW is in existence, but it's that other one, AEW, TNA, whatever. Yeah,
their stock go down within those 90 days. That's the messed up part, too.
Exactly. You sit at home for 90 days, people are going to forget about you. And then some of these guys come back with different names or their real names, and it just doesn't work out.
It doesn't.
So let's get through AEW Dynamite. So
before we talk about Dynamite, what you thought of the upgrade of the entranceway?
You know, the funny part about this is I was watching it. I didn't even realize it until somebody tweeted it out. That's how close I was paying attention to I was like, oh shit, there's just one entrance now, not
what are we doing?
Hey, dude, when you get home and start the show at 11 o'clock at night, I mean, it was very good. Actually, it wasn't terrible looking at all. I mean, I didn't mind it. The other one that they've had for 4 years. You know what I mean? I think it was time to change it up.
Yeah, it was. It looked more like a big production right now with it. With the entranceway.
I like the Titantron, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and then not only that, I forgot what his name was. I'm forgetting a lot of names here, but I know Tony Khan hired somebody that was producing NXT, was next in line for Kevin Dunn.
Right, I know who you're referring to. That guy just came in. I forgot his name. It was only within the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. So this show right here was going to look different. And he's part of it as well. But as we go along with this Dynamite, which was a brand new era, as they call it, I have seen certain difference with the production of AEW since they hired this guy. Is just a little difference that I have seen that they wasn't doing before. So that was a good pickup for AEW.
Right. Yeah. So we started with Jericho coming down. Correct? Is that Yep. It's amazing.
Start hot.
Yeah, we do. No matter how much of a heel this guy is, the crowd is always going to sing along to that damn song.
And that's why he can't legit be a heel the way he is, because it would have been great if he changed his theme song, but he's not going to do that. So,
I mean, that would be the truly heel move at this point.
That would be.
Right? He took on Ricky Starks. Now, I tweeted out last night, I truly believe, now call me crazy, Ricky Starks is going to be the next level big star. Like, he reminds me of that Attitude Era star, like The Rock or Stone Cold. Like, he's going to be a big star, I think, like a household name star. Call me crazy, tell me I'm wrong, but I think that guy's got it.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Nah, he does got the it. He had a great showing a few weeks ago against MJF for the AEW Championship. This guy can talk. This guy has the look. This guy knows how to work the camera. He knows how to do everything that a star can do. And this opening right here with Chris Jericho was great, especially for the crowd that was there in Seattle watching their debut in Seattle. And Ricky Starks came out with the win with the spear on Chris Jericho, which is he's on a losing streak himself. But this was shocking, and it was a much-deserved win with Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I was surprised because, you never know where Jericho's going to go, wherever he's going to lay down or wherever he's going to, do what he's got to do. Because it's unpredictable these days. Because for a while he wasn't not to be rude, but he wasn't putting a lot of guys over for a while. So
yeah, he wasn't. Now I guess he knows he has to start pushing stars, and Ricky Starks was one of them. But he did get his deed at the end as they attacked, and then Action Andretti. We didn't talk about that with his 1-2-3 kid upset a few weeks ago on Chris Jericho, but he got his face burned last week and was told not to ever come back by Chris Jericho. He came back with the chair and tagged JAS until he got low blowed, and Hager destroyed Ricky Starks, put him through the table. And this was a good opening segment for Dynamite, brand new Dynamite.
yeah, I thought it was. Like I said, I think that I said that Ricky Starks is going to be that next. Like he has potential to become the mainstream star, and it feels like I feel right now that AEW is just grooming him for that position, especially having him go over on Jericho.
Yeah, that was a very big feat for him, and hopefully more things to come. And like I said, you're starting to see the difference now. They're starting to push certain stars. They definitely highlighting their homegrown talents now, and that's a good thing. And that's a good step forward for this company.
Let's see. Hang on. We got the. What do you think about the tag title match that we had here?
Oh, before we get there, we did have Hangman Page.
Oh, the promo was before that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Moxley.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I don't want to see these two again. I don't want to see him again.
What? Yo, I thought you were going to say something good. You said, literally, I don't want to see them again.
Listen,
that's messed up.
I was really big on both these guys for a very long time, especially Hangman. I thought he was going to be like next level star. Moxley, I'm just kind of bored with. I don't see.
Moxley's supposed to be on vacation. I don't understand why he's still there. Yeah. He's supposed to have vacation after all.
I don't think he does. He know? Does he know how to take a vacation? That's the other question.
Well, he had a planned vacation until the brawl out happened. Now all of a sudden he don't forgot he had vacation.
Take it up with his wife. I don't.
That's crazy. I don't understand that. You just sat here and said you're supposed to have vacation after all out, and then all of a sudden you got pulled back in, which is fine. Things happen. But
let's not forget,
I want to ask you this question too. Yeah, they need him, but they don't need him now. I mean, everything's slowing now. But the thing is, there's another question I want to ask you too. Do you think Hangman momentum went down once CM Punk brutally destroyed him at All Out?
I think his momentum was down before that. I think his momentum was down during his title reign. Like, he was not doing much for me. I don't think, like, as much as I wanted to see him get that strap, because I was like, yeah, man, he deserved it. I thought he should have gotten it a lot earlier. And once he got it, I just felt like, okay, this guy does not know how to be a champion or present himself as a champion and convince others he's a champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially his promos and his matches. I'm like, I mean, he sat there wrestling Danielson and it just looked like he was struggling to get through that match. He didn't look like he can actually sit there and work that match. So
yeah, it was certain levels. I did see that, and then his match with Adam Cole wasn't delivering the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Then he really didn't do that much TV appearances like that.
Yeah, once he got the title, he seemed to fade out a lot. Like he wasn't there. You know, you don't have to wrestle every single week as a champion. You know what I mean? Sure. You got to make your presence known. Ric Flair at least came out, worked. He might not have wrestled every single week, but he came out and cut a kick-ass promo every single week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
even recently with Moxley, even when he had a title, he was on every week cutting promo, doing something. He was doing something.
It's just with Page, it just once he got that belt, I wasn't convinced anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like he lost a lot of his shine.
I understand.
Yeah. And Moxley,
no heat here, brother.
And Moxley, I thought literally when I said this years ago, when he was Dean Ambrose in WWE, when the Shield were still together, I said this guy is going to be the future of the WWE. So mind you, they split him up, and who's like the one that they don't pay as much attention to is Moxley or Ambrose, whatever, you know. And of course, he got disenchanted and fucking went over to AEW. Great, man, that's awesome. So he's gonna have his opportunity, but he's over there, and he just seems like this. There's just something, and I don't want to quote Jim Cornette at all because I'll catch heat, but it's just that he just, once he's over there, now mind you, in the beginning, probably the first year or so that he was there, I was convinced, but after a while, I'm just like, this guy's just not doing it for me. He's not keeping me interested at all. There's nothing, anytime he comes out on TV, I'm just like, yeah, fuck, here he comes again. But I know, laugh, but you know, I never get sick of watching Bryan Danielson. I've been following the guy for over 20 years. You know, it's just like, all right, man, he's going to have this great match. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later with a match that I want to talk about.
Or CM Punk or...
Punk I never really got sick of. Flair, you know, obviously it was his age that got you. So, but, you know, there's certain guys that you just never get tired of watching. And then there's those guys that you're just like, oh, Jesus, here he comes again. That's how I feel about him.
I agree. I hear a lot of that. I think the only thing that don't go well with Moxley is because it's a lot of blood, and he just it's just some street fight type gig, and it's not wrestling like it's supposed to be. You know, like we ain't gonna fast forward, but we got MJF as a champion now. And that match they had with Ricky Starks a few weeks ago was real good. Yeah. It was real good. It was a breath of fresh air. And hopefully going forward, we have some champions that really will fulfill their spot in this company. And I agree with you. Moxley's a very, I won't say controversial, but very polarizing character for AEW. But you cannot deny the fact that he has held his company on his back for the last few months.
No, you're absolutely correct. But the thing with him is he likes a lot of that deathmatch stuff and likes to, like you said, he likes to bleed. So he likes to go out there and do crazy stuff and certain things that I'm just not into. And that just kind of like turned me off with the guy. It's just, so I just lose complete interest in watching him. Not that, you know, I don't know what his obsession with, you know, bleeding is with every match. He's gonna have the same forehead as Abdullah the Butcher, and you know, you're gonna be able to stick quarters in the slots.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, that's my opinion.
He thought it's from.
Did I lose you? Did I lose you again? You keep going in and out. Okay. What do I think of his promo? Hold on. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Repeat that one more time.
I think so too. I said what we thought of his promo, this segment between these two in general.
Yeah. Like I said, neither of them do it for me. So I like literally, there's certain things on wrestling shows. There's things on wrestling shows like if you just, you know, you don't care about there's certain guys that just don't make you care anymore. You're gonna tune out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna tune out. You're just gonna be like, all right. And then when they come back from a commercial or boom, something else comes out. All right, good. You're back in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this like did it for me. Like I just kind of like tuned out and stopped paying attention to it.
Well, as you tuned out, I'm sure you did tune in to this tag team match that really was real good. I enjoyed it.
I thought this was a great match. I thought it was a great match. I think the Acclaimed are a really great young tag team. They deserve these titles. They've worked hard over the last couple of years. I love Jarrett and Lethal as a team. No, everybody knows I'm a huge Jeff Jarrett fan. So we'll just say this. They won the tag titles before the match got restarted. I thought it was amazing. And I'm like, I did. And the thing that I said, this is going to be the best. I said, Lethal and Jarrett are going to be the best heel team right now. People are going to hate this. They're going to go fucking crazy. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Getting people to react. I said, this is going to be great. What the fuck happens? They come out 30 seconds later, they restart the goddamn match, and the Acclaim walk away with the titles.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I like the fact that Jarrett and Lethal had them for at least 30 seconds, and I was like, them walking around, give it for them for a week. Them walking around with the titles for a week, talking shit, cutting promos online, it'd be great. It's gold.
Listen, this whole program with these four has been great. With the freestyles, with Jeff Jarrett in the rap video, and everything else. Karen Jarrett being talked about. Kurt Angle doing a cameo of having Kurt Angle's wife, basically, and all the back and forth on podcasts. This whole program has been great. It has been a underrated program that everybody didn't want, but now we love. I enjoyed this tag match.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm just going to skip right to the next match. No promo. I don't think the promos were anything worth. I don't think.
Nah, they wasn't. I'm just going to give a spoiler alert that they basically was sitting here having Saraya,
yep.
Figure out who was her partner was, and we figured it out. She said that it was Tony Storm, and actually Sheeta has a problem with it. So we shall see who's going to be the mystery partner, or is it going to be Tony Storm? Those was the promos that really went down. So yeah, we can't skip them.
Yeah. So this is when I was saying that about Bryan Danielson before. I always look forward to seeing the matches, no matter who he's wrestling. This is the best
3-minute match ever.
I was gonna say that I love Tony Nese too. I think this guy could go.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here like, dude, these two in the ring is gonna be fucking phenomenal. The shit went 3 minutes, okay? Basically, Danielson dominated like 80% of the damn match.
You can't tell me this was the best 3 minutes.
I'm saying it was a very good match. Yes. I think Tony Nese sold like a motherfucker.
He got some stuff in. I give it to him.
He did. No, he did. He definitely did. Because he had Danielson in the corner for a bit and then missed the knee. But yeah, he did get some stuff in. I love Tony Nese, man. I think that guy's great. Another Tony New England guy, by the way. So sorry, I gotta throw that in there for our New England peeps. So I think it was great, dude. And I love this match, even though it was like 3 minutes. But I just wish this could have been a match that would have gone 10 to 15 minutes, and they could have put on a clinic. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it could have went that way if MJF didn't have a whole talking segment, which I continue to watch every week. I like MJF. MJF could talk.
I think that yes, you're right.
It'd be too much.
He could talk. I thought the back and forth chatter between the two was phenomenal. I think that he was Danielson making fun of his mother was great. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and funny part is don't his parents have a character where they actually hate him, and they'll go online on social media and they'll call in to Busted Open and such. So that's the funny part.
Yeah,
that MJF MJF actually looked like he was kind of upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, as MJF went along, he wants Bryan Danielson to wrestle all the way February 8th every week and win his matches to become number one contender. And Bryan Danielson was saying he'll wrestle whenever he wants. But then MJF was like, he controls everything. He's the champion. And Bryan Danielson was like, okay, I'll go with your game, but you go with mine. So now, as he go on through these matches all the way to February 8th, if he goes through all of them, he will challenge MJF at Revolution in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
You think MJF can do 60 minutes?
I think he can if he adds entertainment to it. Because as you rewind back when it was John Cena versus Randy Orton for an hour, I didn't imagine that they could do an hour, but they did an hour. But they did some shenanigans to make that hour. So I kind of see this one as being a shenanigan the whole hour because Bryan Danielson could go the whole hour with no problem. It's well documented. But we have not seen MJF do it. So I kind of see some shenanigans happen.
The dude is in phenomenal shape, but he is
in phenomenal shape.
He's gotten way more cut than he used to be. But the thing is, does he have the cardio to go for that 60 minutes?
And that matters. You could be cut as all you want, but cardio matters.
Yeah. You know.
I know.
You've been
Half
out
an
there.
hour is tough.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you that, so I can imagine an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. Swerve Strickland defeated AR Fox.
This was another quick match as well.
Yep.
Another good quick match.
Yeah. Yeah, Swerve is up there. He's getting up there. I like this guy a lot. I mean, I've always liked Swerve Strickland, but good to see AR Fox on TV every week.
Mm-hmm. And then all of that, you could tell who the real star of Hit Row was. I'm just gonna put it out there. At me at Showtime Marcel. Swerve Strickland is continuing to show his A factor.
There you go. All right, so let's see. They did the best of 7 recap. They prior to the next match, Tony Schiavone gave condolences to Dustin Rhodes. Yes, Dustin Rhodes' mother had passed. Yes, it was yesterday, the day before. So, condolences to Dustin and his family.
Absolutely.
And Jade Cargill and Red Velvet defeated Sky Blue and Kiera Hogan. I don't really got much myself to think about this match, but I know.
I understand.
Your opinion? You got anything to say?
I don't got no opinion. Jade Cargill is continuing to be dominant with the TBS championship, and she's basically, I guess she's feuding with Red Velvet. I guess that's coming soon. So we shall see. But we do have a rematch at Battle of the Belts 5 between the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. No holds barred this Friday.
Yeah, I'm predicting the Acclaimed walking out with that title. I'd be surprised if it went the other way.
I'd be surprised too.
But I'll pop for sure if it happens.
I know you will. I know.
I'm going to text you if it happens.
I will. You know what? I'll pop too, because you know what? Jeff Jarrett is like, he is the MVP, the unsung MVP of 2022 and 2023.
I don't think he gets enough credit for his history and his for his dedication to and for all he's done in the sport of professional wrestling.
Nah,
to be honest with you. Because I think a lot of people, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but some people look at him as like a lackey or like he's the promoter's kid, or he's that horseman that nobody talks about, or just something. There's always something, or like they're the guy that held up Vince for $100,000 in royalties or something like that. And so, there's always something that people just don't like. And I think Jeff Jarrett was a phenomenal performer in his day. Phenomenal. And
he's in great shape right
now. Yeah, absolutely. Him now, he's still killing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
He did a tour of the Indies where, what did he wrestle? He wrestled Effie at a GCW show, which I thought he did really well in. So,
and
Jeff
Jarrett put on all the stops.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal 2022. It was like 57 years old, something like that. How many 57-year-olds are out there pulling it out like that?
Not like that. Not looking like that either.
Exactly. Let's see. We had, of course, Samoa Joe, no longer the king of television. Darby Allin defeats Samoa Joe for the AEW TNT title.
This match was real good. It had that Vader Sting vibe.
Yeah.
It had that vibe. They got great chemistry, and this was the right decision to have Darby Allin win in his hometown, become the 2-time TNT champion. Yeah. This is a very good match.
It was a lot of fun. Let's see. I don't got much else to bring up here today, so that was AEW Dynamite.
Yes, it was. It was a great week of wrestling. A little great start to 2023, and we got more. We got 11 more months to go. And I ain't rushing, but 11 more months to go of great wrestling and news. There's always news every week. So
there's news. You're going to hear about the news. Trust me.
It's going to be news. So stay tuned, and we will be around for it. We will talk about it. God willing, we'll all be here and we'll take care of business.
Absolutely. Not much going on in the local independent scene as of right now. So, for you Connecticut, New Jersey, New York fan folks, stay tuned. Check out the website because I'll post some stuff there. Hasn't been updated in a while, but I'm going to start posting a lot of the local events coming up soon. So, yeah, check it out. Don't forget to check us out all on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to keep up. Go check us out on TikTok because you're going to see tons of clips of our, our past episodes. And that's it. Don't forget next week, I've got Bull Dread on the show. So don't forget that. That's going to be his fourth. And apparently he says he's not holding back. There's a lot to talk about. So and in February, Tom Burke, historian, is coming on. So Marcel, you have any announcements or anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
All right then. Well, don't forget to check us out, folks. Have a great night. See you later.